Hey everyone, I'm Dan from JazzComposersPresent.com, an online space where composers, musicians, and listeners come together to celebrate the music we love. I'm joined today by Olivia Trummer, award-winning pianist, vocalist, and composer. Olivia is here to show us how to compose memorable melodies.
So I wanted to talk about creating memorable melodies today, and I hope that this can add some fresh perspective in some way. Sometimes I walk away from a jazz concert where the band performs original music and I realize afterwards that I cannot remember the melody of a single piece they played. So even though there's amazing musicians on stage, the concert leaves me without anything to hold on to or to reproduce, if just in my mind. And I wonder why. Personally, I like the idea of writing something that then continues to live almost like a living being without a body, because it just lingers on in people's minds and hearts. They remember it. So I think what I often miss in these concerts is a melody that would help me remember the piece, meaning a melody that helps me to remember the existence of the piece, just like a face helps us remember the existence of a person. So let me tell you about my experience when I started composing. When I started playing the piano at the age of 3, my mother taught me classical piano without using any sheet music at first. For the first couple of years, I didn't read or write music. Still, I learned many pieces by ear and through visual memories and muscle memory. In these first years, I also started improvising and reproduced songs that I've heard on the piano, and I started to compose little pieces. But without being able to read or write music and lacking the devices for immediate audio recording, the only way to capture my compositions was to remember them. So if I felt that my musical idea deserved to be remembered, I had to play it often enough to hopefully wake up the next day and be able to play it again. This limitation of not knowing how to write or read or record music eventually has shaped my composing style, I think. I'm still gravitating towards compactness of the form and towards a strong, memorable melody that helps me to remember the piece. Today, with the immediate available audio recording devices like smartphones being always at hand, and of course with our ability to write musical ideas down, I believe that we are not using our own memory enough. We give away the responsibility of remembering our own pieces too soon. And with that, we also give away the opportunity of understanding how memorable a piece is. When you are inspired and you found a spark of a new piece, what is the first thing you do? Of course, you will repeat it. You repeat it in order to remember it and then to develop it further. And at some point, sooner or later, you will take pen and paper and write notes, or you will take your phone and record your idea. What if you skipped that step? Probably you would have to commit more time and play the idea often enough to walk away from, let's say, the piano and be sure to remember it when you come back. Don't get me wrong, I don't want you to lose great ideas by recommending you to not write them down. But I think it is important to reconnect and collaborate with your own memory first in order to create something that other people who get to hear it only once would remember. So why not experiment and try to compose a piece that you could remember without recording it or writing it down? What will help you greatly to remember is probably going to be a strong melody that is memorable in itself. Let us see slide 1 to remind us of what makes a melody memorable. A, it repeats. If we want the listener to remember what we compose, we should let them hear it more than just once. My suggestion for this exercise is to make the repetition part of the form by using an AAB or ABA structure. Also, I think it is important to let the melody reappear identically, maybe in a different key, but without much variation. B, it is compact. Being compact meaning short enough to follow the story with full attention. Remember, the piece needs to fit into your own memory pocket with no help of external devices, so think less is more. C, a good balance between familiar and surprising elements. We need to find a good balance between familiar and surprising elements, because the surprise elements help to keep the attention. The familiar elements help to not overload your memory. For instance, use repetition inside of the individual phrases of the melody and apply small variations. or create big contrasts between the different parts. And D, singable. Of course, not everybody is born a singer, but check if your song is singable by singing or humming it. And if you like, try to also sing it in different keys or without accompaniment. So, of course, this is just a brainstorming type of list, and it's just like a guide for this experiment. And if we want to put slide 1 into some practical advice, we can have a look and see slide 2, please, which is just summing up one more time. A, repeat the melody, make repetition part of the form by using AAB or ABA. B, keep it compact because it needs to fit into your own memory, less is more. C, find a good balance between familiar and surprise. Restate, sequence melodic motifs versus create contrast and variations. And singable, try to sing it, perhaps in different keys without harmonic accompaniment. Of course, there's no recipe of how to write a memorable piece, and maybe the piece you end up composing does not seem as impressive as other works you've written, but it might be something to start with and develop further. Now, to illustrate the idea of this all, I would like to share a song of mine with you, which I think fits the topic because it is both simple and haunting, I think. It is called Strange Day, and I am consciously not showing you the sheet music so that you can have the experience of just listening as the actual listener does. Can we please hear Strange Day?
What a strange day it'd be if there was no tomorrow. What a strange day it'd be if there was no tomorrow. What a strange day it'd be if there was only one day left to run and rush around and worry about tomorrow while today's fading away.
I hope you enjoyed that, and of course I hope that a little piece of it will stick to your memory. And yeah, to sum this up, I believe that composing a piece based on the capacity of your memory can help connect you to the listener. Improvisers sometimes are called composers in real time because they speed up their compositional process. And part of what makes it beautiful is the honesty of it. As composers, we could become composers in real time by actually slowing down our compositional process and dedicate as much time to the essence of a piece as we need in order to truly make it memorable, first of all, to ourselves.
Thanks for watching today's mini lesson. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Drop any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos down below. To watch our full-length events and participate in live Q&As with our presenting artists, head to jazzcomposerspresent.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.